Hey, hi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate SonarCloud with GitHub Actions for efficient code scan. As you see in this PPT depicts my demo. So here I'm going to walk you through how we can achieve the code sanity to deliver efficient code. With using the cloud services provided by SonarCloud for code scanning purpose. Yeah. So here we have a source code sitting on a GitHub repository, and we want to periodically do a code scan whenever there is a pull request is being done, whenever a code merge happens on your source code. You need to have an efficient way to do the code, the sanity check, which will check the code efficiency, code security, right? And also the code best practices, whether they are being followed or not at your source code. So to achieve that kind of scenario, the cloud market currently, that is Sonar Cloud, provides a capability for code scanning. You might be heard a name for SonarQube. So the SonarQube now providing their capability on Sonar Cloud. So through the Sonar Cloud, you can opt in the code scanning capability by doing the integration with the GitHub Action. Say, so here our focus is on the GitHub, right? So what I'm going to show you in this demo is, say that you have your software source code is sitting on GitHub, and then you are using the CI/CD for for delivering that software with using GitHub Actions. Now you need to have some mechanism in between here to scan your code and only deploy your code to the your workloads if the code is is fully efficient, or fully say like fully clean code. Okay, then only you want to deploy your code to the workload, right? So to achieve that, Sonar Cloud provides a capability which is a cloud service, as say a PaaS or a SaaS service, which will help you to provide the the code scanning. Yeah. So in my case, my main aim is to how to do that, at GitHub Actions. Okay, how do you integrate that endpoint of Sonar Cloud with the GitHub Actions? And finally, whenever you do a workflows or whenever you do a deployment with using GitHub Actions, how you can dynamically scan your code. If there is a bug, if there is a real time issues, you need to stop the deployment. Okay, so that's what we will be achieving with this. Yeah. All right. So with that, so this is what would be the flow here. You have a developer who is working with the IDE, and they will be doing the the source code commit, pull request, merger, and all with your source code, which is hosted on a GitHub. So whenever you do so maybe you would be invoking the GitHub Actions based on the certain conditions, say pull request merger, or the PR creation, yeah, or the the branch merger, right? So then automatically the GitHub Actions will be invoked. So in the GitHub Action workflow, we define one piece of step for scanning your code, which is which should be like a first step before you start any kind of job on your code, right? So let's say so in that case, let's first scan your code. Then if the scanning goes efficiently, in the sense if the scanning of the Sonar Cloud says good enough, then only you can do a next step in your source code, right? So that's what we want to achieve here. And if there is a really critical issues are there, it has to stop the deployment. Yeah. And let the developers know that there is a real-time bug on your code or real-time security issues on your code, right? And that's where, so basically, since I said we Sonar Cloud now provides cloud services, you have a dedicated visibility. They have the UI portal through which you can see the the efficient insight about the the code 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 sanity, basically. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the to the portal. So this is my GitHub. If I go back, so this is my GitHub for the day. So this is my GitHub repository. Yeah, so this is my GitHub account. In that one, I have created a dedicated repository called Sonar Cloud Scan. So if I go to this one, that is Sonar Code, Sonar Cloud Code Analysis. Yeah. So we're gonna see how we can integrate the with the Sonar Cloud on this repository. So this is my organization, and that one, underneath that one, I have a 24 repositories. But I'm gonna show you how we can do on a particular repository. Yeah. So to access the Sonar Cloud capability, which is previously it was known as a SonarQube, you can go to a site called sonarcloud.io. Just hit just search that particular thing in your repository, right? So this is how their page looks, in the front end. Yeah. So let's say so as this is a Sonar Cloud, they provide you a free account, which you can do a kind of a lab session, which like I'm doing right now for the community purpose. Similarly, you can also try for your application purpose or try for your enterprise purpose. Try to opt in free subscription for the first time. Do analysis. If it is really making sense, then you can opt in the enterprise license to use the Sonar Cloud. Yeah. So for now, what I did is I have already signed up. So to sign up, what you have to do is you have to sign up with using these many options, that is Azure DevOps, GitLab, Bitbucket, yeah, GitHub. So currently I'm showing you on a GitHub. Maybe I will also create a video on GitLab, how to integrate with the GitLab as well. Right. So for now, to create an account, what I did is I opted GitHub, right? And from the GitHub, it will ask you to authenticate with using your GitHub, account. And then from there, so by default, it leverages the, the GitHub account, the data, and it will create you, basically, it will create you, an account. So as I selected a GitHub, and I have already logged in my GitHub in the another tab. So basically this SonarCloud, has reused those credentials, and it has successfully logged in to the my SonarCloud, to my SonarCloud account basically. Yeah? So if I log out again and show you the real thing which is happening at the cloud side. So you can start free, like this. There is a button called start free, and you can, so as you just go on, you will understand that, yes, basically, this is how you can create a try Sonar a free, free subscription, and then you can do the what you can do your required code scan at your source code. So source code could be sitting on the Bitbucket, GitHub, GitLab, yeah, and Azure DevOps as well. All right, so far now I'm just logging in on my since this video is for GitHub, so I'm logging with using the GitHub authentication. So this is how it looks. So when I click on a GitHub option as a login, basically, the Sonar code, Sonar Cloud, they are dedicating for scanning the, the source code hosted on those four options. Remember, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and the Azure DevOps. Yeah. So when you land in for the first time, so you see there are no projects, and there is nothing there is nothing configurations present in my subscription. Okay. So to get started with it, we have to create a project. So to create a project, we also need an organization as well. So let's see how we can do that. Okay. So for example, I will say, analyze a new project. Just click on a button called analyze a new project. And then here it will tell you, import your organization. Since import an organization from the GitHub, that's what it gives the link. So I'm just going to click on that. So here I'm going to use the, so I'm going to use the first option, that is, that is belongs to, so this is belongs to, this is my personal organization. Yeah. So I'm going to use it basically, and say like I have already have these repositories being configured. Currently this is what the configuration is. So I will just say like yeah. So basically this is how we do a configuration. So I'm going to just save it. Basically I'm just go back to again. I will say that I need those repositories. So this is how, what I mean to say is, this is how we enable the project. So I will just go back again. And before we go to the project, so let's see how we can create the organization. So we'll just, let me go to the my account. So you need to switch back to the my accounts, and then go to the the organizations. We need to create an organization for the first time. So let's create an organization first, because it just behaves like how does our the GitHub behaves, right? So GitHub has an organization. Underneath that organization, you're going to keep the multiple repository, right? So same way, the Sonar Cloud will also help us to do that. So first one, we need to create an organization like this. I'm just creating the organizations, and it is telling to whether it says create an organization with using this option. So it says an organization is a space where teams or their whole company can collaborate across many projects. Yeah. Import a GitHub organization that is already has a Sonar Cloud app installed. Okay, so for my case, my organization is, this is my organization, this is my personal organization. In that one, I have a 24 repositories. Okay, so in that case, I will say just or this is one option. You also have another option, that is install the Sonar Cloud app on a GitHub repository. We can also do that. So if you go here, then so it will tell you like where you want to install the Sonar Cloud app, something like that. As it is already installed, you see that it is Sonar Cloud is already installed on my app. It is just telling just telling to reuse it. Yeah, if you see here, let me go to the yeah. So maybe go to the say like a caller. So this is what it is telling me, caller workflow. So this is I'm just adding and just saving it. So this is basically, this is how you configure basically this is how you configure your organizations. Yeah. So there are multiple ways. This is the one way that you can do ahead and do things like that. But I'm not going to do that way. But yeah, so I'm going to use it, reuse it, the existing option. So I'm going to click on that. Right. So it is again taking me to the same path. Basically, you go that way or this way. You're going to commit here. That is on the import the organizations. So let me keep my organization as it is, like what is there in the GitHub. And the key is nothing but this is the key will gonna be used in the GitHub action. So you need to take a note of this one. I'm going to help you with it. And then comes the option. There is a two options. One is import your organization details with the key value to be added, and then in after that you have to choose a plan, that is the free plan or the paid plan. Yeah. So I'm going to create with the free plan because this is for a demo purpose. So what we are doing is, remember that we are creating an organization. Yeah. And so for this demo purpose I have already created an organization. Maybe that would be coming back. Not sure whether that comes back or not. So so when the organization is been created, you see it is telling you the analyze the project. In the sense, it is telling you, hey, you have an organization, and in that organization I can recognize so you have added an extension for these repositories. Do you want to use it for the scanning purpose? That is what it is telling me. For now I don't want to explicitly add it. I just created an organization, that's all. Yeah. But rest all thing we will do from the GitHub Actions. Okay. So if I go to my organizations, currently I have one organization called, this is my organizations. If I select on that organization, so currently let's see, so currently it does not has any project. So remember that what we did is we just created an organization, and that's all. And from the organization I have a key, right? So I need this key. And there is one more thing which we need, so that I'm going to come back to this SonarCloud and I will going to help you right away. All right, so this is all the the prerequisite configuration you need to maintain on your account. Okay, there are other multiple steps are that which I'm going to walk you through one after the other. Yeah. All right, so that is from the SonarCloud subscription side. I'm going to go back to the GitHub side. So now we're going to go to the repository. Say that so for this demo purpose, what I did is I dedicatedly created a repository, deliberately created a repository like this. In that one, I have a branch, only main branch, and in that one, I have a GitHub Action workflow folder like this, and a source code folder. So what I did is I created one GitHub Action workflow so that I can integrate with the SonarCloud, and I also created a source code folder like this. And underneath that, I have kept one example.py file, which is nothing but a Python file. I have cloned this repository in a VS Code, and this is how the that repository looks. Now what I do is I'm going to walk you through the GitHub Action workflow. So how did I did what are the configuration I did to integrate with the with the SonarCloud so that it can scan our code present on this repository. Yeah. So first one, as usual, the GitHub Action workflow. So we need to follow the syntax of the GitHub Action workflows. That is, first one, I provided a name of my workflow, that is SonarCloud scan GitHub Actions. That is just a demo purpose. Yeah. But in your case, this could be your application. Yeah. And then on in the sense, what does that on key here represent is nothing but when do you want this workflow to be invoked. So here I have added workflow dispatch, which is nothing but somebody manually invokes this workflow, then only you run, and that's what it means. Then we are defining the jobs, and that job will be running on this Ubuntu latest the GitHub Action machine, which is a public GitHub Action machine that Microsoft provides us. So I'm going to slightly make a change here, saying like I will say demo demo Sonar Cloud scan. I'm just give a nice name to this my job, that is demo Sonar Cloud scan. Yeah? And then it runs on Ubuntu, right? So rest all is as usual. So remember that before you run the Sonar Cloud scan job, you must have a task to check out your repository. Yeah, because once it is checked out, then only it's gonna run your the code scan on that checkout repository basically. So here we are using action checkout, which is nothing but it just checks out this repository in this machine, that is in the Ubuntu latest machine. Yeah, and these are nothing but the other parameters of that particular task. Then immediately, so once the code is checked out, that is the space we have to first scan it. Then you need to use it for your next CI/CD tasks. Say you might need to build it, you might need to deploy it, you might need to test it. Yeah. So all those tasks would be definitely have to be below this one, not before this one. Remember, it is very important for you to run code scan first, then do a build, deploy, and test. So the task around these main headings, right? That is build your source code, deploy your source code, and do a testing of your source code, right? That is, you have to do it one after the other. All right. So for that case, we are keeping a name of my task called SonarCloud scan, and in that one we are using the the publicly given endpoint, that is GitHub Action endpoint called Sonar source, and in that one we are using the master one, that is SonarCloud-GitHub Action master one. So this is the task name, this is the API name. Maybe you can call it many things. Okay, so this is, I will consider it as an API because this is with using this API we are passing these parameter and we are achieving the code scan. That is what I understand. So that's the reason I tend to use a name called the API, that is GitHub Action API, to do the certain CI/CD job. Yeah. And then in the environment we do need to provide the two important parameter, that is GitHub Action token plus Sonar token. So these are the tokens which we have to mandatorily add on the GitHub repository, and so in the form of secret. So I'm going to show you that how did I do that. And with the organization, so with the certain arguments, so in the arguments we need to do like dsonar.organization, which is nothing but what is the organizations in your subscription. So if I go to the my Sonar Cloud subscription, here is my so this is my the organization. If you see here, so that is the value you need to keep, not this one. So whatever the value coming after organization, so that is the same value you need to keep it here. So if I go here, so that is what I added this one. So this is how I added. And then in the dsonar.project hyphen project key, which is nothing but that is repository name. Okay, so which is your repository, sorry, basically key name. So in the sense key name, in the sense it could be your repository name. Yeah. So so this key is belongs to organization. So underneath the organization you see there is a list of project. So in the sense organization is a container, and underneath that you can have a multiple project, which is nothing but a repository in general. Yeah. And the code scanner, so basically the Sonar Cloud scan will do a scanning on that complete repository, right? So henceforth the value of the project key should be your basically your repository, so that you can understand on which repository the scanning is happening and what is the result of that. Yeah. So that is the reason what I did is I have added the project key equal to my GitHub, my GitHub basically the repo name. Yeah. All right, so I added that. Then I went to the next topic. This one you can ignore it. This is not required for now. All right, so with that, I have done with the thing. So source code I'm not going to explain, but this is like just a XYZ code, piece of code. So here you can keep it like a .NET file, Python file, so Java file, whatever your source code contains. Okay, so all files can be kept in the source code folder. Not only source code, it could be anything, any folder, anything which is sitting here on the source code on your GitHub repository. Yeah. So for this case, just for a demo purpose, I'm just creating the the source file here is a .py file. All right. So with that, I have done with the explanation on the GitHub Actions, that how you need to integrate. Now, before we commit and show the demo, what I do is I'm going to push this change for now. So I'm just let me push it those changes. So I will say demo pushes. So right now what we did is we refined our GitHub Action workflow, and so then we are merging it to the upstream branch, that is main branch. Yeah. So the code is so basically my source code is here. Now we need to whenever the GitHub Action runs, we need to integrate with the with the source code. Yeah, with the Sonar Cloud scanning, right? So let's see how does it works. So before that, as I said, so on the settings of your project, on the settings of your repository, you need to add two secrets. Okay, one is GitHub Action path token plus Sonar Cloud token. So that is what I have explained you here. And let me show you how you need to do that. So basically here you go. So that is GitHub token, and the Sonar token has to be kept as a secret on your repository. So if I refresh it, this is taking much time. So meantime, while it is refreshing, I need to go to the so I'm going to show you that how you can create a token of your Sonar Cloud. Yeah. All right. So this is taking time. So meantime, I'm going to show you how did I create a Sonar Cloud token. So to do that, what you have to do is you need to go to the My Accounts and then go to the security. In the security, so there is an option called tokens. So you need to create a token from there. So I'm going to refresh it basically. So it's going to taking some time. If you go to the token, so you see there is a token option. Just give the name of your token. Say I'm going to say test. Yeah, and then I will say generate token. So when you say generate token, take a note of this one, copy this one, and then go to the so go to the GitHub basically. So I will go to the GitHub now, and we're going to create a secret here. So you go to the settings. Yeah, in the settings you go to the secrets and variables, actions, click on actions, and here there is option, green option called new repository secrets. Click on here and create the repository secrets like I have mentioned here. Yeah, so that is GitHub token. You see the first secret name is Git token. So you need to retrieve the tokens with using this syntax. Okay, this is like a workflow syntax, you need to follow that. Yeah. So for that case, so we keep the the value of that token is been kept here, and the value of the secret will be keep in here, and just click on add. Okay, so like that I did, and for to get the pat token, what I did is I'm going to go to the my profile of the GitHub. Then here you need to go to the settings again. From the settings, what I did is I went to the developer settings. So if you go to this is purely GitHub profile. In that one, you go to the GitHub. After going to the GitHub profile, that is GitHub settings and profile, and then you go to the developer settings. In the developer settings, you have a personal access token options. So here there is like a fine grained one and token one. So fine grained is a beta version. So currently I'm using the token classic one. So I created a pat token something like this by clicking on the button like create a pat token like this, and then I selected all the options for just for demo purpose. Yeah, you can choose the permission which is relevant to the scanning. Okay, basically you need to have a full access on the repository workflow access. Yeah, so just give it full access, because the token is anyways it is stored as a secure process, as a secure secret. Yeah, but in your case, you if you want to do a trial and error, maybe you can do a only required permissions, but you need to do trial and error multiple times. You might need to do that. Yeah, I will go to the repository again. So this is how I got a token like this. Whatever the pat token we got, and whatever the generation token we got here in the SonarCloud, we also got a token for the pat token from the GitHub, right? And we have to keep those as a secret in the repository. So if you go to the secrets here in the secret actions, and that is where I created a GitHub token, that is a pat token. This is Sonar token, which is I got it from here. I already have a token that is Sonar token. I'm going to revoke this because this has been exposed here. So I'm going to revoke now. I just revoked it, so you don't need to try that again. Remember, you have to create on your own. Okay, so create your own subscription and use it. All right, so I have the value for this one, which I have kept it here in the repository secret. So I'm going to use it that. Yeah. All right, so with that, we are already set. Now let's jump for the using the code scan. Okay, so how do I show is so I'm going to run this Sonar Cloud Scan GitHub action workflow manually, because I have configured it to trigger by manually. So I'm going to click on a run basically. So if you go to the instance of that particular workflow, this is where the instance has been created for us. We're going to see how does that the interaction between the GitHub and the SonarCloud happens, and eventually scans our code. So I'm going to open this for now, just to show you the live demo. For some reason, the action is slow here, so I'm going to just open this. All right, so it's open, and you see that our job is running, and currently it is in a SonarCloud scan. Yeah, so so basically in our task we have added only checkout, and then we have this is the checkout, and currently it is running a SonarCloud scan. So if you want to see the real-time logs, you can do so by clicking on this options. Yeah, so this is currently the checkout option, and if you can click on this one, so basically after execution is complete, then only we can see the results. So currently you see when I clicked on this one, it is telling that it is doing the certain code scan. So it is actually checked out the project like this, which is done. Now it is executing the further commands. Okay, so once the execution is complete, we can also see that there is a one more project is being created here. Now we go back to the project, that is project on the I will go back to the new project analysis. No, sorry, so we need to go back to the project. It will be automatically created, you don't need to worry about it. So here you go, it has completed the job. That's the reason it is available. Earlier when I was just a second back, when I tried on clicking on my projects, this was not available. Now it has successfully published. You see the time that last analysis complete is this one, which is equivalent to the time that you see in this particular my repository. Yeah. All right, if I go back to the GitHub action, so here is the results. So yeah, so if I can show you the cloud scan results, this is how it tells you the results. And if you see here, it should say execution success. Okay, when the execution is success, then only it is going for the next task. Say your repository has certain bugs, certain security issues, the code is not clean, right? So in that case, it will gonna throw the error. Yeah, and it gonna see, so we're gonna see that errors here. So current analysis says that there is a 0 bugs in the code, 0 vulnerability. The hotspot reviewed is 100%, in the sense the complete code is reviewed, and the code smells are so basically you have not followed the certain syntaxes. Code coverage, duplications, everything is 0%. I'm going to desperately make certain mistakes in the code, and we're going to see that this going to give us the results. So currently it is doing, it will give you a nice view here. After a certain time, it will take some time, yeah. And if you go to the to this one, so here you go, right? So this is what the analysis it says. This is the same dashboard will be available here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to desperately make some changes here, and we're going to see that, so this is this gonna make a certain bugs. Okay, so let's introduce some code smell errors. So code smell error in the sense, so nothing but we are deviating the standard practices of Python. Okay, then the Sonar Cloud will automatically identify it. Yeah. So how to do that? What I'm doing is I'm going to introduce a underscore mark in the in the variable name. So this is my variable name in my Python script. So I'm going to switch it to that option. Okay, and I'm going to commit this one, and let's see, so whether the code scan will identify that error. Okay, so basically what I did is I'm deliberately making certain, so I'm deviating from the certain best practices of the Python. Yeah. So currently we are scanning the Python code, but if your source repository might be having Java file, Node.js file, or it could be having C++ file, it could be having anything, right? So it has a Sonar Cloud has a capability to scan it and identify the the challenges within those source code. So for the demo purpose, I'm just doing a demo challenges. I'm just showing you the challenges that it's gonna present us for us. Yeah. So I'm deliberately making certain changes in the Python code, and I'm gonna show you that the Sonar Cloud is identifies that, and eventually helps me to solve those problems as well, right? So how does it helps us? That is something we're gonna check it right away. So I'm gonna go to the actions now. I'm gonna invoke the action again so that it identifies proactively, right? So the analysis of the project is not getting invoked until you invoke it from the GitHub Actions. Okay, so for that case, so I'm running the workflow. So this is actually we call it as an integration, in the sense when you want to, so the basically the security, the problem in the source code is getting identified during the execution time. You can also do proactively by integrating the another method, in the sense you can directly integrate the projects here and do a scan immediately from the repository. Here also that is a possibility, but here we want, so whenever we do the invocations, we want the GitHub Actions to do for us. Yeah. So that is, this is like a, this is like a, the basically the parallel approach. But this is, if you want to do a scan from the Sonar Cloud side, that is a proactive approach. So right now I have started the the second action, that is second level scanning, and let's see if the project, if this code analysis is identifying certain things here, right? I'm expecting something to be changed here, right? Let's see whether it is really does that. Yeah, it has to do, because we are certainly following, not following certain best practice. Basically according to the Python, we should not use underscore. Let's see, if it does that. All right, so let's wait for the scan to complete, and then we can see the the code smell being identified. So code smell is nothing but basically it is not following the certain syntaxes, yeah, or certain best practices are being ignored in your code. Okay, so while it is running, what I'm doing is I'm going to show you the filters as well. You can see the filters, that is past failed filters, reliability filters, yeah, so basically security filters, right? So you can do a filter like this, so and also past filters also you can apply like this. Yeah. So I'm just gonna clear the filter because I don't want to add the filters. But you can, so basically let's say you have a huge repositories, you have a big organization. In that one you have like thousands and 10,000s of repositories are there. In that case, your security team can scan your code by applying the filters and identify the repositories, then go back to the those guys. Okay, here you go. Looks like our scan is being completed. If I open the Sonar Cloud scan, so we go down as we just analyze the scanning. Looks like, so it has analyzed and it has published the results, and that's the same result. We can see it here, and currently the code smell value has been changed. So let's see what is that code smell it is identified, right? So this is the analysis of our source code, that is source code, and that is Sonar Cloud analysis source code. Yeah, this is our source code, and in that one it has identified, there is a code smell. So, and this is the nice the nice overview is been given here. Duplication will be available here, findings will be available here. So there are certain findings. There are 4 types of findings currently that the Sonar Cloud is able to capture, that is bugs, vulnerabilities, security hotspots, and the code smells. Okay, so let's see what is that code smell is mean, right? So if I go to the to the latest merger, and we're going to go to the code smell. So I'm going to click on this code smell, and let's see, how does it what is it that it is telling. Yeah. So you see currently there is a one code smell, and it also tells in which file what is the wrong one now. Okay. To go more deeper and try to understand what is that, so you can just click on this and explain, rename the parameter that is this to this value. In the sense, the parameter value has to be like this, yeah. Because if you go to the in the code, it's okay. It also telling that, hey, you have declared this variable like this. Try to not to use, try to use this expression. Okay, it tells, what does that mean. Local variables and the function parameter name should only comply with the naming convention. Okay, that is the Python naming convention, which you can see also here. There is a rules per each scanning. Okay, so it says, local variable and the function parameter name should comply with the naming convention. So what is those naming convention? All details will be available here, yeah. So basically, the rules that could be applied for the different source code files could be found out here, and that those results, you can even search it here and can also explicitly make or enable it or disable it. So for Python, we have nearby 273 rules. Those rules could be, qualified here, yeah, or could be, could be reviewed here one by one, yeah. So basically, SonarCloud has these many rules will be applied on your source code and tries to evaluate against those rules and try to identify the results. So currently, we have deliberately made some mistake and it has identified as expected, yeah. So if we go back and try to do reverse, that value going to be so going to be changed again. To show you that, I have to do it again basically. So let me do it quickly, so that, what we do is we're going to do a reverse of that and check, whether it resolves those errors. It has to resolve it. So I'm going to save it and do a commit of that basically, and we're going to run the workflow again. So I will just say changed. I will just say changed. Yeah, I'm going to commit it now and do a sync now, and then we're going to see the execute the workflow again and see that, whether it deliberately, whether it removes that changes. Okay, so basically SonarCloud has to remove that. We are actually evaluating the SonarCloud here. Indeed, it does removes, but just for the demo purpose, I'm just redoing the thing again here. So I'm just going to wait for this workflow to get complete, and then we're going to see that, whether that is replicating in this changes. In the sense, we are expecting this sonar so this code smell value on this repository has to be removed off. Okay, so let me just wait for this one. So let's wait for this to get complete, and then we're going to see that, that is really getting changed, yeah. So currently it says, so build the sonar source. So basically it is doing the prerequisite job which is required to do a SonarCloud scanning. It has checked out, and now it is doing the SonarCloud scan. You can see that, the last scan happened at this time. Now currently this is the time it should be changed. Okay, so basically let's see if that gets changed quickly, yeah. I'm going to refresh it. So whatever the source code that you keep in a repository, the SonarCloud has a capability to identify, hey, this is the file, and then I have to apply those rules. And the rules, to get more details about the rules, you can go and explore the rules option here, yeah. And languages, you can check with, programming languages here, yeah. And there are the bugs, tags, repositories, so you can also explore these multiple options, yeah. And there are the quality gates as well, so you can see the quality gates, yeah. So this is the quality gate. You can create your own custom quality gates if it is really makes more sense. Here are the members. So currently this is my group, yeah. And then building upgrade we can do from here as well, yeah? Let's see, if that scanning got completed and our smell option in the scan result is now removed, yeah. Looks like the GitHub action job is complete, and now if we go to the this repository and try to refresh it, that smell has to go off now. If we have done everything correct, here you go, right? So earlier it was one code smell. Now the code smell has been gone. In the sense, we have removed the changes. So how did we remove the changes? By identifying the the code scan result. Okay, so that is how the code scan is helping us to achieve the sanity and eventually helping us to deliver the code, with a high efficiency, with a high security options. Yeah. All right. So with that note, I have shown you the things need to be shown in this video. Finally, a kind request, please do subscribe my channel. That would really encourage me a lot. So with that note, thank you. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next video.